afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Valkenswaard in the Netherlands. It's round 6 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Europe. First up is going to be MX2 Race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Now, the circuit itself here is just located on the perimeter of the Euro circuit, which is a rallycross venue. But we've been coming here now since 1974. We've had 51 Grand Prix back here since then, if you count all classes as separate. And in MX2, Jeffrey Hurlings has dominated the Netherlands since 2010. So today, we'll see a new name on the 125cc/MX2 win list. Now, a week ago in Italy, Jorge Prado was a winner for the first time, and we know he is very capable in the sand as well. Quick look where we are. But can he win again here today? Had a difficult time in qualifying yesterday, but Paul Jonas, well, he's the new championship leader. Jeremy Seewer and Julian Lieber are breathing heavily down the Latvian's neck as well. This is MX2, folks. It's the GP of the Netherlands, and we are live. 1,550 meters long here, this circuit.
Okay,
it's a little bit chilly, has been all weekend, but it's trying to warm up, but we've just got a little bit of cloud cover here. And we are getting ready to go racing very, very soon indeed. Well, if you're joining us for the first time, haven't seen the EMX races, here's a GoPro track preview. The Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory rider takes us through a lap here. The original start then, a long start straight, 85 meters through the fast chicane, over the city jump, and then, look here, straight on through the chicane, instead of tight right, tight left, tight right, gets rid of that bottleneck on the opening lap. Through the two giant rollers, heading down towards turn 6. Very choppy through there at the moment, then up and over the Monster Energy step-up jump into turn 7. Turning left over the single jump, and then cresting to drop back down the hill here, steeper than it looks on TV, and those braking bumps are massive now. Choice of line through this bottom turn under the footbridge, then we swing back uphill through turn 10, 3 rollers there. There was a single to the inside here, but then we drop downhill through this long 180 off-cambered left. The rider's propped up to the outside by that berm that's now built up. Huge braking bumps here, big bank around the outside there. Dropping over the little single bridge here, and then we head down out of turn 14 over a single, then the Tag Heuer double. Look at the lines on there. Then a single roller into the 180 at the end of the straight, turn 15. Then we have the Monster Energy waves, 7 of them at the start of the weekend, but it's pretty much like a bomb site there now. Poles all over the place, making it very difficult to keep the wheels in line and nice and straight. Turn right over the Ippon step down, about 25 meters. This little crest here to upset the balance of the bike. A roller on the exit, over the step up, second, third gear, over the Monster Energy finish line jump. And then we head back through the chicane here, through the left, through the right, left again around the race tower, and then into the final 180. That takes the riders back down the start straight to start another lap here at Valkenswaard. Well, that's a lap of Valkenswaard then. We've got Paulin on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna factory machine. The riders heading out onto their sighting lap for MX2 Race 1. Of course, Lisa caught up with a couple of riders. Chiara Fontanesi is here riding as a wild card, but before that, Lars van Berkel.
Hello and welcome to the start of the first MX2 race of the day. All the guys are getting ready at the moment, but I want to have a quick word with Lars van Berkel. Lars, you've been brought in by Honda HRC. Tell us the story why you're here as a replacement for 2 rounds.
Well, the Japanese rider Notsuka got injured, and I was already riding Honda. And well, I actually just asked if I could fill in from their spot, and they had a place over, and they were looking for a fill-in rider. And it happened to be my home GP here, and they said just give it a shot, and we went testing last week. Everything went well. Yesterday went good, so just gonna give them all and see what we can do on the bike.
You said it's your home GP. You don't live far from here at all. So does that mean you've got your friends and family here and it's quite a busy weekend for you?
It is quite busy, especially with the upgrade to the HRC team. Everybody knows you now. So yeah, I live for like 40 minutes from here. I never ride here, but it's sand and you just got the feeling that you're home, and you got like, I got the best bike now, and yeah, suspension is good, power is good, and just gonna try to take a good start and see from there, and maybe I can do something special.
Maybe you can. Best of luck. Thank you for that, Lars. Maybe he can do something special. We'll watch that space. But something special that is actually happening in this race is we have 4 times WMX champion Chiara Fontanesi. She's filling in for Jorge Zaragoza. If I can find her, she was down here, number 8. Where is she? She's just over here. I just want to have a quick word because it's nice to see her on the start grid. Chiara, hiya. Just a quick word. You're here with the MX2 guys. Tell us why and what do you hope to get from this experience?
Yeah, I got the opportunity to race this round and replace Jorge that unfortunately is injured, and I had to take this chance because it's one of my favorite track, and I was quite happy to have this opportunity, and I feel even more comfortable when Yamaha support me on this decision. So I'm happy. Gonna be really tough, but of course will be a really good training. We
had qualifying yesterday. You were with the guys. How did it get on for you?
Yeah, honestly it was pretty hard, but it's like exactly how I expect. But I didn't imagine that I could get so much experience from this round, even if I already knew, but I'm realizing that I'm getting even more than what I expect. So this is really good for me, and for sure after these 2 motos here today will be really good training.
We'll try and enjoy it.
Thank you.
Best of luck. Thanks for that, Chiara. Time for MX2 race 1.
Riders then were let out by the Fiat professional fullback pickup. Of course, they're all now safely back in the waiting zone. Let's have a look at the championship standings, though, as we head into moto number 1 here. The MX2 Grand Prix of Europe here at Valkenswaard in the Netherlands. Paul Jonas is a new championship leader after Trentino, and he has 192 points. He is 9 clear of Jeremy Seewer, with Julian Lieber just 8 points further back. 17 points separate the top 3 guys. Thomas Kjær-Olsen is 4th with Benoit Paturel 5th. Then we've got Brent Van Donnik, Jorge Prado, Thomas Covington, Sever Brulyakov, and Michele Chervelin, and the rest of the guys there you see. Brian Bogers, he'll be looking to turn his season around this weekend. He's 12th in the championship. He improved a couple of positions last week. Didn't have a great time in qualifying yesterday, but you would expect the Dutch rider on the HSF Logistics motorsport machine to have a pretty good race here this weekend. It was a steady 7th place for him. We'll see the qualifying highlights in just a moment.
Dus 2017 slaan we over, 2018 gaan we allemaal op het einde van het jaar weer in Scheveningen naar de strandrace.
So the riders making their way to the line then. Of course, the new mesh system here. Be interesting to see how that works for real in the sands of the Netherlands, but it's not too deep the other side. Anyway, here's the highlights of the MX2 qualifying race. Gate dropped and charging into turn 1. Thomas Kjær-Olsen, but it was Julian Lieber who swept across everybody. Thomas Covington hit those bumps, drifted out to the right-hand side. His teammate was right there in 3rd place, just behind Jonas and Lieber. Covington well placed, so too Conrad Muse, and also the number 18 of Sever Brulikov, and well, upside down went Chervelin. So Chervelin for Team HRC had to pick himself up. Conrad Muse was running high up there as well, and then eventually he slipped off. So Conrad Muse then had a lot of work to do, picked himself back up in 14th. Big save from Julian Lieber, but that handed the advantage to Paul Jonas on lap 2. So the Red Bull KTM rider then had a clear track ahead of the LRT machine of Lieber. Just got his head down and started picking his lines, and was looking very comfortable around here. His teammate, meanwhile, was down in 25th place, got himself up to 20th and then fell back to 24th. But Thomas Kjær-Olsen made a move on Lieber on lap 3 to get himself 2nd on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. So from one GoPro to another. Anton Gold, 297, had a bit of a love tap there from Calvin Verlander, and he picked himself up, only to be knocked back down again by Karel Kutsar. Verlander then came home in a 18th place. Jeremy Seaworth's race wasn't much better either. He fell from 8th on lap 1, went down to 35th, fell a couple times before getting back in some kind of rhythm, back to 19th. Chiara Fontanesi, well, she knows how difficult it's going to be here this weekend. Didn't get the drive over that step up. Monticelli went by, but she'll enjoy this all the same. In the closing stages of the race, Jonas started to come under fire from the number 19 of Thomas Kjær-Olsen as they battled it out over the lead, leaving Julian Lieber just a little bit further back on his KTM. Seba Brylyakov was 4th. Brian Sue for the Maraghet Husqvarna squad had a great ride to come home in 5th, passing Thomas Covington with a few laps to go. Covington coming home in 6th position, but Benoit Paturel, he had to fight outside the top 20, and he did that to get himself into 8th behind Brian Bogas. So expect the Frenchman to be firing on all cylinders if he gets a good start in MX2 race 1. Jorge Prado's race was difficult for him. Got himself up to 20th before fading back to 24th, so give him a start today. Of course, he's going to be on fire as well. But rounding out the final turn, it was Paul Jonas who took the qualifying race win ahead of Thomas Kjær-Olsen, Julian Lieber, Seba Brylyakov. Brian Sue came home in 5th.
You just don't know. Nee, dat klopt inderdaad. Zoals
so the riders just going through their own thoughts. There's the number 48 there, the Australian Jay Wilson. He came home in 35th, so he'll be looking to try and improve that in the races today. Here's how the riders go to the line then. Of course, the same as they were in the qualifying race. Jonas goes to the line first for the 3rd time this year. Thomas Kjær-Olsen was hoping to make it back-to-back qualifying race wins, but will have to be content with 2nd. Head of Lieber, Brylyakov, Sue, Covington, Bogas and Paturel on the Khmer Yamaha. Conrad Muse and Ben Watson had a great ride as well, actually. Started in 10th, and she came home 9th, up and down the top 10 a little bit. So the Hitachi Contract Furniture Group KTM UK rider got himself a decent pick. We know he's pretty good out of the start as well. So this race set to go in about 2 minutes time. You see the riders now making their way to the gate from the skybox area, the waiting zone. There's Darian Sanai, 57, Monster Energy DRT Kawasaki, looking to try and get a gate down the inside, and Petrov as well on the Monster Energy Kawasaki. Not sure if there are too many spaces left down there, boys, but if you can get them, fair enough, because see, the more you head out to the right-hand side, the more angle on the gate heading towards pit lane. So it's talking to some people yesterday, they're saying, oh, it's not fair that the gate isn't straight for everybody. Well, that's what qualifying's all about. It's straight from the left to the middle, and then it starts to point out. You'll see that graphic when we go wide, but Benoit Paturel has got himself, from his 8th place qualifying, he's gone to the box. Gate number 1 on that Khmer machine. Thomas Kjær-Olsen having a great season in MX2 at the moment. 4th in the championship, 34 points, 17 behind Julian Lieber. He's had 3 4th place finishes this year as well. He's finished every race inside the top 10, incidentally. Hasn't been lower than 7th, Thomas Kjær-Olsen. Good to see his teammate back as well, Conrad Muse, riding with a bit more confidence. And the number 64, Thomas Covington, won that Grand Prix in Leon, Mexico, with a 4th and a 1st. Petar Petrov, Monster Energy Kawasaki, we know that he can perform well in the sand. He was 17th in qualifying, though. There is the 81 of the Maraghet KTM, Husqvarna, sorry, of Brian Sue, alongside Paul Jonas. We are almost ready to go here. MX2 race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. There is Jeremy Seaworth, number 91. To his left, the number 10 of Calvin Belongren, and the 321 to his right. There you see the graphic, perfectly illustrating how angled the gate is across to the right. But 15-second borders, turn to 5. The gate is about to drop here at Valkenswaard. MX2 race 1. And it's a Red Bull KTM of Paul Jonas, who grabs a foxhole shot for the 4th time this season. Immediately into the holes in the background there as they hurtle through the first couple of corners down towards turn 6. Sanai goes down in the background. He just got his handlebars taken out of his hands. tried to save it, probably got hit from behind, but Lieber in second. That's the Monster Energy Kawasaki of Adam Sterry in third, riding 8.11. Fourth is Brian Sue on the Marquette. Husqvarna riding number 81. Then we have the Rockstar Energy Husqvarnas of Thomas Kjær Olsen and Thomas Covington. And Prado splitting the two Huskies as they round out the bottom corner there to head back uphill to this part of the racetrack. Sinai will pick himself up, but he had a great start, but coming to nothing. Caleb Ward, I think, gets a good start as well, but we'll get these guys through. Patrell just inside the top 20. We'll see a flash of blue in a moment as he passes through there. But the riders jostling for position on this opening lap. We'll get them sorted out. There's an HSF Logistics, in fact, two of them there on the face of that jump, heading down the back straight towards turn 15. So where are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th there for Siwa. Then Valandren and Bogus, 12th and 13th. And then Hunter Lawrence just behind them as they head their way down through the Monster Energy waves. Brian Sue in the fluorescent colours getting a good start here on that Marquette. Husqvarna riding number 81 on the finish line now, crosses the line in 4th place behind Adam Sterry. There's Bernardini going through in 8th place, just ahead of Ben Watson. So we've got Jonas leading the way here. Lieber in 2nd, Sterry 3rd, Brian Sue 4th. Is that Prado next? Yeah, Prado has found his way past Thomas Kjær Olsen since he crossed the finish line. So 2 Red Bull KTMs and inside the top 5. Thomas Kjær Olsen is in 6th, Covington 7th, Bernardini 8th, Watson 9th, Seawer on the Suzuki is in 10th place. Then we have Caleb Ward for Husqvarna Ottaviano in 11th, Valandren 12th, Grogas 13th, Lawrence 14th, 15th is Seba Bulyakov. He will put on a charge, expect him to break inside the top 10 in the next few laps or so, certainly by the halfway point. He was pretty rapid around here yesterday in the qualifying race, was the Russian. Jacoby is 17th, Petrel 18th, Lars van Berkel for HRC, and Petar Petrov rounding out the top 20. Herbert Ho just outside the points, so too Brent Van Donnick. Fontanesi in 34th place. So, Kjær Olsen goes down. He tags the 81 of Brian Sue, who was obviously shouting some kind of expletives at the 19 Dane, rather gentlemanly obliges, say, there you go, son, that was my bad. And 2 Huskies out on the opening lap here, well, the second lap. Massive gap then between the rest of the field, because Thomas Kjær Olsen, just the mist coming down, charges his way down the inside. Just watch this here. It's almost a little bit reminiscent of, yeah, just ran himself in there. 2 don't go to 1. There's a little bit of smoke off that as well, so I wonder if there's a little bit of case damage with one of those bikes. So, end of the first official full lap then. Jonas, 1:51.493. Only a couple tenths quicker than Lieber. Sterry 3rd, Prado now 4th. Covington 5th. Bernardini on the factory TM is 6th. Seawer on the Suzuki World MX2 machine is in 7th place. They're just starting to go, they're getting ready to go down the start straight now. 8th for Valandren, HSF Logistics. 9th, Ben Watson on the Hitachi Contract Furniture Group. Massive landing there, heavy landing for the 61, and Prado, who goes down. He was out of control from the point that he landed on that jump, and the tiny Spaniard goes down. Well, he's got a mountain to climb now. It was a little bit erratic, he was untidy, and there's that Brian Sue again. So Sue has gone upside down. And I think that might be at the end of the Monster Energy waves, possibly, but not the race that he would have wanted after starting up there inside the top few positions. And Prado is looking a little bit second-hand as well. Probably got a face full of dirt. Will he regroup? It was a hard landing for him. So Jonas leads then, Lieber 2nd, Sterry 3rd, Covington all of a sudden finds himself in 4th, but look at Julian Lieber, 1.5 seconds he was over the line behind Paul Jonas, number 41. Yeah, that's where Brian Sue was just trying to get himself extricated from. Those banners there, right at the end of the Monster Energy waves. So turn 16. Covington 4. That means Seawer is now 5 because he's found his way past the blue TM coming towards us of Samuele Bernardini, but he's got Calvin Melandrin just behind him now. So Siwa is now, what, 5th? Jonas, Liebert, Sterry, Covington 4. Yeah, Siwa 5, Bernardini 6. Valandren is 7 on the number 10 HSF Logistics Motorsport machine. Get these guys over the line, everything will correct itself. 8 is Ben Watson, 9, Hunter Lawrence. Caleb Ward is 10. Van Donnick, wow, he came from outside of the 20. He was like 22 a lap ago. He is now in 11th place for Khmer Yamaha. Avin Osman, 12. Benoit Paturel is 13. Jacoby, right in the number 29 for STC Racing, is in 14th. Monticelli is 15, Brulyakov 16, Petrov 17, Lars van Berkel, Makeda Chervin, Conrad News now in the points in 20th place. So Jonas heading uphill. Say, is he stretching that gap out since he came over the line? Possibly, but got to see under the watchful eye of Mark Deruva this year. And Deruva, of course, former Grand Prix winner, but knows how to get the most of riders riding in deep sand, and maybe that was a weakness for Paul Jonas. He's performed well in the sand in the past, but can always do better, and maybe that might be the difference. This is Prado, just out of control at that point, but he's out of the race, so he didn't go much further. He picked himself up, and Prado, is that dirt in the goggles? Yeah. And he's probably a little bit beaten up as well. Went down hard. No points on the board then for the winner from a week ago, Jorge Prado. Oh, getting unseated coming out of that final turn. Paul Jonas, seen that a few times yesterday. The hard edge, square edge bumps as you come out of that turn and make the run down towards the finish line. Certainly after the step up, immediately before the run to the line. The guys are landing, catching a few edges there. Jonas catching one of them. Still about 1.3 seconds though between him and Liebert. Sterry, 7 seconds further back. Monster Energy Kawasaki. Can we go back to him in a moment, see where he is? He's got about 2 seconds over Thomas Covington. Should be over there in the background on the city jump any moment now. There he is. Both these leaders going around Brian Sue. Right, here's a battle for third then. Adam Sterry, Monster Energy Kawasaki. New signing to that team, new ride, everything for him. Spending a lot of time in France as well with the team. Thomas Covington, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, the American, has improved his sand riding skills since his time here in Europe. Has no choice, nothing to ride but sand. But is he closing in on Adam Sterry? 52.5 that time around for the American, a personal best lap for him, a 54.3 for the Welshman. So Covington is closing in on third place. Meanwhile, Siwa and Valandren, 5th and 6th. There is Valandren, South African now residing in Holland with that team. HSF Logistics Motorsport, loves riding the sand. He was looking forward to it. Had him on our MXGP TV studio show on Saturday before they went out on track. So if you want to hear what he has to say, of course, just log in. Everything is on demand, and you can check all kinds of content, of which that interview was one of them. But Siwa now in 5th. Can he advance further in MX2 Race 1? Covington homing in on Adam Sterry, coming towards the end of lap 4. Well, just one side of the track for the other, maybe setting himself up for a pass. See, it's a little bit smoother over on the left-hand side. Covington, great line choice in the end. He did get the power down on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, and by the end of the finish line straight, he was past Sterry and into 3rd. So Sterry now down in 4th, and that Monster Energy Kawasaki, but still a good showing for him. He's got a couple seconds breathing space. Yeah, it was just goggles, I think, for Prado when he pulled over. And anyway, a couple seconds back from Sterry to Covington. Sorry, from Covington to from Sterry to Siwa, I should say. Valandren resets at a personal best lap of the race, a 53.3, but 51.044 for our race leader, Paul Jonas. Fastest lap of the race so far. Right, get some track time under your belt, Georgie boy. Get your head down. Nothing else you can do apart from just get that race time in. give the mechanics something to modify, change, to make it work for you in race 2. But he took off there, then he was all out of shape, caught the back end on that jump, went down just a couple laps ago. So he's obviously having to pay the price for that now. The rider at the top of the shot here with the green arms is Brian Sue. He is a lap down already after falling foul of a move from Thomas Kjær Olsen. Olsen now to 19th place after picking himself up, but again, Brian Sue fell just a half a lap later in this corner and took a while to get going. So again, another rider who is trying to get the laps in, get some feedback from the bike, give the team something to work on going into the next race, but just trying to stay out of the way of Covington there. He knows the guys are coming through, he knows he's a lap down. Sterry not letting Covington too far out of his sights though. There was Seaver in the background and also Valandrin. They're still 6th. We've lost Bernardini from 7th. So Watson now up in the 7th place for Hitachi Contract Furniture Group, KTM UK. 8th is Brent Van Donnick. The Khmer Yamaha rider is absolutely riding a blinder at the moment. You should see him in the background. There he is. He's just found his way past Ben Watson just after the finish line. So Brent Van Donnick absolutely on a charge. He was outside of the top 20. That's Petrel, his teammate, and Alvin Osland a little bit further back. But at the end, this end, here's Watson coming towards us now, and then Caleb Ward. So just in front of Watson, going out of shot on the Monster Energy hill, is Brent Van Donnick, top of the hill already, going left, the 172, getting ready to drop down the hill ahead of these guys. Here's Benoit Paturel. There is Brent Van Donnick, already out of sight. Found his way past Ben Watson just a moment ago, and he's already disappeared over this next hill. Caleb Ward, a great ride for the Australian. He's been missing a couple rounds. I know he tweaked a knee in one of the flyways, Qatar, Australia. That's Alvin Osland, 161, the 3rd of the Khmer Yamaha riders. So he is in 11th now because Paturel, his teammate, has gone by him as he goes after Caleb Ward. But the lead Khmer rider already at the end of this next straight on the blue Yamaha, ahead of Watson here, 9:19 on the Hitachi Contract Furniture Group KTM. Ward looking very accomplished in the sand though, looking like he's back to his 100% self. So there's Paturel. He was a title challenger at the start of the year. He's already 45 points down on the lead at the moment, though. And look at the battle further down. The 107 of Lars Van Berkel gets a nudge there from the hard charging 96 of Hunter Lawrence. Goes from one side of the track to the other. Firm but fair move there from Lawrence. He just barges his way down the inside of Berkel to get himself into 17th position. So there is Hunter Lawrence. Julian Lieber now, fastest man on track, 1:51 exactly that time around. He was 3/4 of a second quicker than Paul Jonas. Jonas now only 1.27 seconds clear. There's Lawrence going out of sight. There's a 19 of Thomas Kjær Olsen trying to rectify that mistake. Right, where's Lieber? There he is, closing in on the number 41. Lieber yet to win a race in MX2. He's been on the podium 4 times out of 5 Grand Prix this year. Has a number 33 LRT KTM rider just there in the corner now. 10th overall in Patagonia after an incident with Adam Sterry, but looking very relaxed here as he goes after the 41 of Jonas from Latvia. Championship leader will extend his points lead over Jeremy Seewer by, 18, 16 points, so 9 points. Still 15 minutes plus 2 laps to go though. Lieber pushing on, 1.5 seconds, got a back mark just in the way there. Enzo Torriani, the 783. The Red Bull team telling Jonas just be smart. Already has 5 moto wins this year, Paul Jonas. Lieber yet to win. Looking very good. That's a factory KTM leading the way, and it's a modified stock KTM of Julian Lieber in second position. They've got some decent suspension in there, though. That might be making the difference here, and they're doing their own tuning to that LRT KTM. Certainly looking okay at the moment in terms of the Red Bull KTM of Jonas, not getting that far ahead of the Belgian Lieber. Covington up to third, Sterry fourth, Siwa is fifth. About 2 seconds further back, Siwa sets a personal best lap. At 53.4, he was about 1.6 quicker than Sterry that time around. So Sterry needs to be on guard again in that fourth place for Monster Energy Kawasaki. Then we've got Valanderen, then Van Donnik, then Paturel, then Watson, then Ward in 10th, Ostlund 11, Grubikov 12. Here is Toriani, he's a lap down. Adam Sterry, I won't say on his own, because he's got a whole freight train of riders getting ready to close in on him, the first of which will be the number 91, the yellow Suzuki World MX2 machine of Jeremy Siwa of Switzerland. Sand isn't his strongest point, but he's riding for a team based at Lommel under the guidance of Stefan Everts, a 10-time world champion and possibly the best sand rider the world has ever seen. But Adam Sterry doing a great job of keeping Siwa here in 5th place behind him. Valanderen about 3 seconds further back. The first rider you'll see now with the green sleeves is a lap down, Brian Sue. He's just trying to tag on to these guys, try and learn as much as he can while he's got that little bit of breathing space between Siwa and Valanderen. All that information will be useful for the next race in terms of get on the rear wheel, find out what pace, how differently does a bike work. Well, Lieber making his bike work and seeing as he heads uphill through the long sweeper. That is not a 1 second advantage. It was less than that as he came over the line a moment ago, half a lap ago. Van Donnik is in 7th place. He is about 4 seconds behind Calvin Valanderen, 2 seconds quicker that time around as well. So Valanderen has got to be vigilant as well, because the hard-charging Van Donnik will be there ready to pounce. And a couple of back markers here. 397, Gabriele Arbini was one of them. Jonas, how much more can he take? The pressure from Lieber starting to build. Then they hit the back markers. Then they have to change lines, switch it up a little bit, break the rhythm ever so slightly. Sometimes riders just get into the habit of hitting the same line every single time they come around. Sometimes not always seeing the alternatives. As Sterry, doing his best to stay ahead in 4th position. The yellow Suzuki bearing down on him now. Jeremy Siwa. Siwa pushing on. Knows he can't afford to let Jonas get too far away in terms of points and the championship race. Trying to get the drive down at the rear wheel. Sterry's been caught like that before when Covington went through. Covington's still in 3rd, 20 seconds down on Lieber in 2nd. But he's clear of this battle here by about 7 seconds or so. Siwa having a swing around the outside, then cuts it to the inside. A little bit more flow through that turn, up on the pegs, both riders. Adam Sterry very much looking forward to getting to this race. Bit of a moment there from Siwa. Brian Sue is next behind, but he's a lap down, remember. Then there's that, so the 3rd rider you see now, Brian Sue, he's a lap down on the Maurer Gep. Husqvarna, he was at front with these guys on the opening laps, till Thomas Gear Olsen just cleaned him up in the long off-cambered turn 12. These guys are going to be hitting at the top of this next hill. Sterry doing a great job on that Monster Energy Kawasaki. 14th in the championship, 6th in Moto number 2 in Indonesia. That's his best of the season. Doing a great job. Siwa trying to close him down, though, just trying to chip away. Van Landeren just starting to close in the background as well, and very, very quickly the blue Yamaha just behind these group. Here's Brent Van Donnik, there he is at the top of the shot. He is closing in fast on Van Landeren as Siwa goes through. A mistake in the end from Adam Sterry as well. Allows Siwa to get himself up into 4th place. Siwa then will cross the line at the end of lap 10 with about 9 minutes to go, with a clear track ahead of him. Thomas Covington, though, at 6 seconds further up the track. These two lapping very, very similar lap times, as well as the message goes out to Siwa. Backmarker needs to start paying attention to what's going on around him. We've already seen the likes of Jonas Lieber Covington go through. Siwa goes through now. The rest of the riders are going to be very close as well. And Siwa, Brian Soon needs to get out of the way as well behind the Kawasaki. He does that because here comes Van Landeren and also Brent Van Donnik just behind these guys. So he is putting in a lightning pace there, the guy in blue. Brent Van Donnik, he has come from outside of the top 20, 22nd, 23rd on the opening lap as he went through the first couple of split points, and he has just got his head down on that Khmer Yamaha, and he has muscled his way inside the top 10. He's now 7th behind Van Landeren on that HSF Logistics motorsport machine, and he's looking to find a way through as well. So this all starting to tighten up here, and Adam Sterry needs to be on guard here. He's in 5th. Oh, not anymore. Oh! Don't you hate Q points? Sterry just getting tagged there by Van Landeren as he tried to make the most of a pass. Looking to regroup himself here, but Van Landeren goes through, and so too does Sterry. He's just taken a couple seconds to breathe here. Has he got a problem? Looks like he's got some kind of problem there, Adam Sterry. He's either hit the wall or he's got something else. A mistake there from Van Donnik allows Van Landeren to get ahead of him, or just pull clear of him. Whoa, nasty big hole at the end of the straight. Van Donnik hitting that gives you an idea how good factory suspension is. Has to stretch it out though over the step-up jump. Hits the line now into 6th place. He's 41 seconds down on the lead. Gives you some indication as to how bad a start the Belgian had on that 172. Jonas and Lieber still duking it out at the head of the field. Covington 3rd, Siwa 4, Van Landeren 5, Van Donnik here is 6th. His teammate now in 7th, because he too has gone past Adam Sterry. Now Adam Sterry, he was cruising, and he's still cruising over the finish line area. Just got a glimpse of that. I think Sterry is maybe going to come into pit lane. Wonder if he, when he tagged Van Landeren there as he got going out of that tight right-hander, whether he had a foot peg in the spokes and has rattled the spokes there, or whether he's just tweaked something. Van Donnik, though, just getting the urge on from the fans. He's closed back up on the number 10 of Van Landeren after making that mistake at the end of the Monster Energy wave section, turn 16. Back markers almost tipping into the path there of 10, Van Landeren, as he headed up the hill there. Look at the flow, the riding style of Brent Van Donnik. Yeah, Sterry dropping down the order. I think he's gone into pit lane. He looked like he was coasting as he came over the finish line. We'll get you news on that as soon as we have it, if we can. And Watson also dropping down. So Watson, who was in 10th place, finds himself falling. He's just inside the points as these guys now start to reach Mikhail Ivanov, the number 97 on the Honda. Volvo Racing Team. Ryder takes a look over his shoulder. Van Landeren's gone through, got another back marker dealt with, and Donnik has to split the two slower riders on lap 12 as he goes in pursuit of the South African Calvin Van Landeren, who is in 5th position at the moment. He's been up there before plenty of times. He had a great start in Leon, Mexico, if you recall, the number 10. And he put in a good performance there, eventually faded to 6th on that occasion. Jonas, meanwhile, 2.3 seconds clear now. He was almost a full second quicker than Julian Lieber that time around. Has he broken the toe, the concentration, the rhythm of the Belgian? That's the gap between first and second. Either way, we'll have a new winner on the trophy this weekend. Jeffrey Herlings has won here 7 years in a row. Right the way back from 2010, which was his first Grand Prix victory in his third ever Grand Prix. Won both races that day, did Jeffrey Herlings, a 15-year-old. He'll be up in MXGP a little later on. Whoa, Thomas Covington just getting a little bit out of shape, but nothing that he would have thought was out of the ordinary for a place like this. Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider that put himself in a good position for a potential podium, at the very least, as we head into race 2 in about 4 minutes plus 2 laps time. See what, if only this guy gets a start, he could be dangerous and could be a threat. But he's out there riding his own race, trying to gather as much information as he can ahead of race 2. Van Donnik has found his way past Vlaanderen. So Vlaanderen now down to 6. Lieber back on the trail and back on the rear wheel of Jonas. It was 2.3, it's now 1.8. Lieber is not giving in here. He is not prepared to throw in the towel. He's never tasted 25 points before in an MX2 race. Today might be that day. It might be an MX2 race 1. But we know how difficult this guy is to pass as well. Paul Jonas, the race leader. His teammate, Jorge Prado, got himself into the points. He's now in 20th position after having a moment and then a stop to clear out the goggles and all that kind of thing. He's now up to 19th actually, because Caleb Ward has dropped down to 18th. And Bernardini also out of the points. Bernardini, the long sweeping off camber. Turn 12 has caught out Bernardini on the factory TM, so that's why he's out of 13th place, 15th even. Ivan Monticelli actually up into 13th place on the Marchetti Racing Team KTM. Haven't seen him, but he's putting a decent ride. Didn't have a great one yesterday in qualifying. Just goes to show when it comes down to points and getting starts and riding the conditions you're faced with at that time, anything can happen. There's Prado going after the 747 of Michele Chervlin. These two are 17th and 18th now. So Prado on the right on that Red Bull KTM. Sanai, who fell there on the first lap and right at the start, is just ahead of them as well in 16th position. And then Lars van Berkel for HRC MX2 at the top of the hill. Prado and Chervlin very, very close to each other. There's a new line there that Prado's just found. Might just work out for him as well. Got a rider down at the top of the hill. Not getting through there though at the bottom of the hill though, Prado. Just behind Prado is Caleb Ward and then Ben Watson. Or is that Bernardini? Bernardini might be in there as well. I think he has. Yeah, he's found his way past Watson. So Watson just outside of the points. So Jonas leads 1.6 over Lieber. Covington second. third. Seawer 4. Van Donnik is in 5th place as Bernardini looks to regroup on that tier. Here's Sanai, I think. Or is that Brilikov? That's Brilikov going through in 8th place. 9th is going to be Thomas Kiera Olsen. 10 is Osland. 11, Hunter Lawrence. Suzuki World MX2. Great performance from the young Aussie. He's had a tough time of it in MX2 this year so far. 16th in the championship though. Despite all of that, got a 6th in the second race in Qatar, showing us signs of what we can expect as this season goes on. That's his only showing in the top 10 though for Hunter Lawrence. Alvin Osland just ahead of him. Here's Jonas. 10 seconds or thereabout, 8 seconds as they hit the line. Or about 12 seconds, sorry, as they hit the line. So it's going to be 3 laps to go for Jonas and Lieber. Can Lieber just find enough? Has he got enough in reserve to... Oh, the backhand getting out of shape there on Lieber. Jumps long, lands nicely on the downside of one of those waves that's starting to form the other side of that city jump. And he has got himself right back there. It's 1.6. So he's had a good couple of corners. Maybe Jonas, his eye taken off the ball as he approached the back marker. The back marker should keep to the left here. That'll do Lieber a favor, or will it? Not really. Oh, messes him right up at the top of the hill. Lieber having to go the long way round. Why do they do that? They know the leaders are coming through. I know they're in their own race. But that has messed up a grandstand finale here and let Jonas off the hook massively, because Lieber's still trying to find his way past the slower rider, who is still unaware that Lieber is even there. 783, Enzo Torriani. Well, that's thrown a right spanner in the works, hasn't it? Jonas now more than a couple seconds clear of Lieber, who's going to have the lap or so of his life. Oh, we've got wave yellows at the end of the straight here. Two riders going down, parking it up in that left-hander. But this is almost a let-off here for Paul Jonas, because Lieber was getting close. Lieber will be spewing as he comes over the line. He's got another back marker ahead of him here. Covington still, oh, Bernardini again, so he was there. Was he there with the back marker, or was he there with somebody else? Might have been Van der Vlis that he was in there with, because both riders showing as going down at that point. And the Italian, who normally has legs of steel, looking like he's got a bit of a hobble on. Well, that hands points to Bogers and Watson, who are now 19th and 20th. Hunter Lawrence now up into 10th. He's found his way past Alvin Osland on the Kinnear Yamaha. So the Suzuki World MX2 rider also making a move in the final laps here. But Jonas dealing with the back markers the best then in the final 2 laps. He's kept his head down. Be a nice win for him. Still got 2/3 of a lap to go though. Not over until it's over, is it, in the sand? There's Covington, the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider, the American in 3rd. The pace not exactly what he would have wanted. Only one American has won around here in the past, Billy Lyles, 1990 on a 500 Kawasaki, the year that he could have probably won a world title had he not broke his leg. When he landed wrong off of a drop-off at Chingali. Billy Lyles was very strong at the start of that year. He was a winner here at the opening round. Julian Lieber, though, running out of time. He's at one end of the straight. Jonas, the race leader, at the other. Look how he just selects his line there just to get through those holes. Jonas over the earphone jump. Got a back marker just ahead of him. Got to be careful not to jump into the side and throw it all away here. It's the number 95 that's ahead of him. Well, he won't care about that. Mika de Waal over the line. 1 lap to go. Jonas still can't afford to relax. 3.1 seconds the gap between Jonas and Lieber. There he is at the end of the start straight. Those holes are massively deep now on the run up towards that city jump in the background. Here's Watson about to get lapped here as well. He's in 21st place going through in black. Mika de Waal just behind him. There's Lieber in second. Covington 31 seconds behind as the back end gets out of shape. Well, that is game over for Lieber now. He's going to rely on a tip over or a tussle with a back marker if he's to close down that gap between himself and Jonas, the race leader. Covington 3rd. Watch this. Just gets in here. Back end goes one way, bites, and then just pushes him over the holes. Not much, but it was enough just to upset the balance of the bike and lose him. And another mistake there. He knows this one is done. There's Jonas in the opposite direction. Who's that ahead of him? Conrad Muse in 20th place. So it gives you some idea as to where Jonas is lapping up to here in this first MX2 race. Van Donnik 5th. He's, well, 5 seconds down on Seawert. It's not going to do anything about that now. So Jonas, Lieber, Covington, Seawert, Van Donnik as we head into the final lap. Melander in 6th. Great ride for the HSF Logistics rider. Benoit Pacharel, 7. Bruikhoff, 8. Thomas Kjær Olsen. Good ride. Picking himself up off the deck. Getting himself into 9th place. But the checkered flag being ready. And it's Paul Jonas who hits the Monster Energy finish line, takes a win in motor number 1 in MX2. It's halfway there to standing on the top step of the podium for the 3rd time this weekend. There's Lieber. He knows he had that issue with the back marker. So I'm sure he'll be having words with somebody about that. But anyway, Covington, great ride for the American. Coming home in 3rd in MX2 race 1. Just got a couple more corners in which to negotiate. Didn't score here last year, Thomas Covington. So he'll be pleased to pick up 20 points for 3rd in MX2 race 1. Well, Paul Jonas is down there getting ready to speak to Lisa.
Paul Jonas, congratulations. You took the whole shot, led the way. Lieber was right on your back wheel at one stage, but you got there in the end.
Yeah, no, I got a really decent start, and I was happy to get a whole shot and just ride my own lines in the first laps, you know, and that helped a lot. And just still gonna look for some improvements for the second race because I'm not 100% happy with my riding, but you know, looking forward for the second moto, and hopefully I can do the same.
Good luck for the second race. Thank you.
Paul Jonas then picking up 25 points in MX2 race 1 on that Red Bull KTM. 6 race wins in the bag now for the Latvian. Can he repeat it tomorrow in the second race a little later on? Of course, he said he wasn't completely happy with his riding. Try and make some changes to improve that, but the track will be tougher and rougher than it was for race 1 because MXGP race 1 is up next. But Jonas, Lieber, Covington, Seawert and Van Donnik in the top 5 in MX2 race 1.
Top 10 per Nou, ik ga even op weg naar de start.
Official confirmation then, MX2 race 1, and Paul Jonas picking up the win for Red Bull KTM. The LRT KTM of Julian Lieber 2nd, Rockstar Energy Husqvarna's Covington was 3rd, Suzuki World MX2's Jeremy Seawert 4th, and the Khmer Yamaha Van Donnik was 5th. The HSF Logistics KTM of Valonderen was 6th, Pacharel 7, Bruikhoff 8 for Monster Energy DRT Kawasaki, 9th for Olsen, 10 for Lawrence, 11 is Osland, 12 the Monster Energy Kawasaki of Petrov, Jacobi on the SCC Husqvarna was 13th, Monticelli on the Marchetti Racing Team KTM was next ahead of Darren Sinai, Lars van Berkel for HRC, Jorge Prado 17th in the end, Michele Chevlin, Brian Bogers, well, he'll be disappointed with that, and Conrad Muse. Jonas extends his lead by a few points, so he's 16 clear of Seawert in the championship chase. So he'll move to 217, Seawert 201, Lieber 197. That's how it will look going into race 2. Sean Simpson having a look around. MX2 race 1 then got off to a flyer, certainly for Paul Jonas, his 4th foxhole shot of the season. Darren Sinai got it wrong and disappeared on the opening lap, but it was Lieber in 2nd. Adam Sterry was in 3rd at that point, with Prado charging hard in 4th. 5th was Brian Sue, but then he went down as Thomas Kjær Olsen cleaned them both out at the start of lap 2. Sue then went down again hard. We never saw that initially, but he had the good mind of grace to get out of the way there and probably took a breather. Prado went down next, and he took a little time to get himself going, but he eventually came home and scored points in 17th. Jonas looking pretty cool at the front though. Sterry's 3rd place came under threat, and it was Thomas Covington who passed him to move into that 3rd place. Sterry then found himself wanting, got caught passed by Seawert. Not sure if he was starting to feel the heat there, but there was a moment here. Calvin Valonderen went around the outside. The 2 riders touched in this next corner, And I just wonder whether he jabbed his knee or his ankle there, because at the end of that next lap, Sterry pulled out of the race. Closing stages of the moto. And Lieber got himself into contention, but couldn't do anything about Jonas, who went on to win comfortably in the end. Lieber was second, Covington was third.
De controle over de Honda en nu zijn ze nog eventjes elkaar aan het verontschuldigen. Ja, zegt Len, oké, het is allemaal gebeurd, het is niet anders. Wel, we zien dat de motorfiets hier alleen staat van de Bullet. Hij is zelf nog niet aanwezig. Dan gaan we verder.
Foxhole shot. Pulls Jonas by a bike length over Julian Lieber, who's yet to score one actually this year. Ruud Vandenberg, Fox dealer here, on hand to deliver the black plate to Pauls Jonas, who now tops the standings on 4.
Team uitkijkers, een glunderende Louis Vosters, zien we daar staan.
Take a look at some of the best moments in MX2 race 1.
Natuurlijk om zijn rijders hier naar een podiumplaats te begeleiden. Ja, en ook Arnoud Tones rijdt voor dat team van Wilver.
I'll be on it. I start riding again this week coming up. So yeah, I'll be.
Some of the highlights then from MX2 race 1. We're getting ready now for MXGP race 1. 30 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Who will it be that draws first blood here? It was an interesting qualifying race yesterday. We'll show the GoPro qualifying highlights at the start of that program, of course, and we'll take a look behind the scenes at Khmer Yamaha as well. But we'll be back with more MX2 action in a couple of hours' time, but we will be back in a couple of minutes' time with MXGP race 1. We'll see you in a few moments.
Spannend natuurlijk.